Chapter 2391. The Seven-Colored Sect and the Luozi Sect. Screams echoed as two Tianzins were flung away like trash. Their bodies twisted in strange positions, severely injured. Although the physical body is not crucial for Tianzins, the pain of such injuries is still unbearable. The Buddhist Lich and Divine Power Lich would not stop after one strike unless Lin Moyu issued new orders. They would continue attacking until the enemy was dead. The Divine Power Lich quickly caught up, not giving the opponent any chance to breathe, and launched a second punch. With the power of the Great Tao of Strength, the second punch was 100 times stronger. Because they were not in the Great World and lacked the power of belief, this punch did not manifest the true form of the Great Tao. But this punch was still 10 times stronger than the previous one. The Tianzuan had no time to react and was blasted away again with a scream. Blood spurted, and Tianzuan's blood turned into a mist in the air. The Buddhist Lich did not pursue directly. In the eternal Buddhist kingdom, another 1,000,000 followers sacrificed themselves, and a hazy Great Tao appeared around the Buddhist Lich. The Great Tao of Fate manifested for the first time. The Buddhist Lich locked onto the Tianzuan, found his mark in the Great Tao of Fate, and punched out. The Great Tao of Fate surged, and a peculiar force landed on the Tianzuan. It did not affect his physical form but his existence within the Great Tao of Fate. The punch obliterated his mark in the Great Tao of Fate. Consequently, in reality, the Tianzuan's body turned to smoke and dissipated. His soul entered the eternal Buddhist kingdom, becoming a follower. This Tianzuan follower was clearly different from the others. He was several times larger, resembling a small Buddha statue. The power this Tianzuan follower could provide far exceeded that of a supreme follower. Lin Moyu realized that followers also had different levels.
It seems that no matter where, there are always distinctions. The Great Tao of Fate can erase someone's existence from fate. Once fate is lost, they cease to exist in reality. This kind of attack is indeed terrifying.
Lin Moyu's heart was clear. The true horror of the Buddhist Lich was now fully revealed. A great Tao appeared in the sky, dispersing the thick clouds and allowing countless rays of sunlight to shoot through, only to be swallowed by the great Tao. A giant appeared in the sky. The Divine Power Lich's third punch, amplified 1,000 times, finally triggered the true form of the great Tao. The giant's punch shattered the Tianzuan being pursued by the Divine Power Lich, his body disintegrating, and his soul annihilated on the spot. Lin Moyu quickly collected some fragments of flesh.
Luckily, nothing was wasted.
Lin Moyu suddenly thought of something.
They are from the Luozi sect. I can turn them into resurrected beings to learn about the Luozi sect. A resurrected Tianzuan is only one major realm higher than me. It should work.
Lin Moyu had a plan. He looked at Shueji Tianzuan. Shueji Tianzuan was indeed stronger, continuously suppressing the opponent. The opponent was extremely frustrated, trying to break free several times, only to be blocked by Shueji Tianzuan. At this point, neither Shueji Tianzuan nor Lin Moyu could let him go. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and the Buddhist Lich instantly locked onto the opponent. Another 1,000,000 followers sacrificed themselves, and the Great Tao of Fate appeared again. The Buddhist Lich punched towards the Great Tao of Fate, and the opponent's body suddenly glowed with a brilliant light, accompanied by a scream.
Not dead?
Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. The opponent had blocked the Buddhist Lich's punch. This punch could erase his mark in the Great Tao of Fate, yet it was blocked. The Tianzuan's body glowed with purple light, and a treasure robe appeared, blocking the Buddhist Lich's fate attack. Although it was blocked, it wasn't completely nullified, and he was still injured. Shueji Tianzuan seized the opportunity and launched a frenzied attack. Within minutes, accompanied by a scream, the opponent finally died at Shueji Tianzuan's hands. Shueji Tianzuan disdainfully threw the corpse to Lin Moyu.
A bunch of trash, daring to threaten me, courting death.
Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh.
You weren't like this just now.
Lin Moyu asked.
Is the Luozi sect a sect?
Shueji Tianzuan glanced at Lin Moyu.
Don't play dumb with me, brat.
Before he could finish, A large wine jar appeared in front of him. The jar had no lid, and the rich aroma of wine mixed with the essence of origin wafted out, stopping Shueiji Tianzuan mid-sentence. This jar of wine was even better than the last one, aged 10,000 years. Shueiji Tianzuan's eyes sparkled, and he couldn't resist taking a big gulp.
Considering you're so sensible, I'll let it go this time. Old Turtle is concerned about the sect behind the Luozi sect, the seven-colored sect. The seven-colored sect has 7 branches, and the Luozi sect is just one of them. The seven-colored sect has a Taoist master.
Shueiji Tianzuan, having taken a bribe, changed his tune. Lin Moyu understood immediately. Shueiji Tianzuan was wary of the Taoist master of the seven-colored sect. Lin Moyu asked,
But doesn't the Sea of Realms have its own rules?
Shueiji Tianzuan replied,
Yes, so I'll report this to the king. How the king handles it is not my concern. But it's unusual for the Luozi sect to come so aggressively this time. Normally, they wouldn't act like this. Anyway, it's not my problem. But you, brat, have some impressive life-saving techniques.
Lin Moyu smiled.
I have to. The Sea of Realms is too dangerous. Without some tricks, I wouldn't dare to come.
Shueiji Tianzuan nodded.
That's true. You've been quite at home in the Sea of Realms lately. Your 2 techniques are impressive. One can trigger the true form of the Great Tao, and that punch's power is close to mid-level Tianzuan. The other can attack directly within the Great Tao of Fate. Though its attack power isn't as strong as the true form of the Great Tao, it kills invisibly and is hard to defend against. But both techniques have limitations. One can only deliver 1 punch. If the opponent has mid-level Tianzuan strength or a corresponding defensive treasure, the technique is useless. The other is the same. Like that trash just now, with a treasure robe, he could block your attack. The key issue is that you're too weak. If a Tianzuan targets you, you're done for.
Shueiji Tianzuan easily pointed out the flaws in Lin Moyu's techniques. Lin Moyu humbly accepted.
Thank you for the guidance, senior. I will strive to improve and achieve Tianzuan status as soon as possible.
Shueiji Tianzuan said,
Your attitude is not bad. I'll go report this to the king and come back to find you later.
With that, Shueiji Tianzuan jumped into the Sea of Realms and quickly disappeared. Lin Moyu's eyes were complex. After pondering for a few seconds, he took the Tianzuan's corpse back to the Great World. The battle with Shueiji Tianzuan seemed to have established some trust between them. Before Shueiji Tianzuan returned, Lin Moyu had some matters to attend to. He summoned a ball of undying flame and placed it on the Tianzuan's corpse. Origin-level technique, resurrection of the dead. The shattered Tianzuan's body quickly began to regenerate, and the annihilated soul started to reorganize. Every time he used resurrection of the dead, Lin Moyu felt a sense of wonder. He could sense the technique's extraordinary nature but couldn't trace its origin. However, he was certain that this technique did not belong to the Great World. 2392 Chapter 2392. The Origin Continent, Southern Continent Human Race. The Tianzuan from the Luozi sect was reborn in the flames and then slowly knelt before Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu frowned. The other party's actions were somewhat hesitant, but there was no outright resistance. This was somewhat conflicting with the resurrection of the dead technique. Resurrection of the dead should work as long as the target is not more than 2 major realms above the caster. Now that he was a mid-level supreme and the other party was a mid-level Tianzuan, there should only be 1 major realm difference, so this shouldn't be happening.
The realm calculation in the Great World and the Sea of Realms is the same, so there shouldn't be any mistakes. So what factors are affecting the technique?
Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out for a moment. Looking at the Tianzuan kneeling before him, he thought he might find some answers from him. Lin Moyu asked,
Are you from the Luozi sect? What's your name?
Although there was a slight resistance, the Tianzuan eventually became a resurrected being, and the technique fully controlled him.
My name is Kujun, an elder of the Luozi sect, ranked 11th.
Lin Moyu responded,
So, there are 10 elders above you. How are your rankings determined?
Kujun answered honestly,
By strength.
So, the top 10 elders of the Luozi sect are all stronger than him. Not by realm, but by strength, which seem to reflect some characteristics of this world. The principle that might makes right holds true everywhere. Lin Moyu also sensed that this world was not peaceful. Lin Moyu continued to ask,
Who is the strongest in the Luozi sect, and what is their realm? The strongest is the sect master, a Pete Tianzuan. How many Tianzuan elders are there in total? 31 in total.
Lin Moyu's brows furrowed tightly. 31 Tianzins. Even though he had killed 8, there were still 23 left. Adding the peak Tianzuan sect master, the Luozi sect's combat power was indeed formidable. However, Lin Moyu was curious. With so many Tianzins, why did they make such a fuss over a low-level purple-robed Tianzuan?
Who were you looking for this time? The purple-robed elder and the 4 elders protecting him.
Lin Moyu detected something unusual and immediately asked,
What is the identity of this purple-robed elder you mentioned?
Kujun answered truthfully,
He is the sect master's son.
Lin Moyu realized he had gotten himself into trouble. No wonder a Tianzuan-level expert had 4 other Tianzins secretly protecting him. He also understood why Kujun and the other 2 were so aggressive. It seemed the sect master of the Luozi sect had given the order. Lin Moyu asked,
What order did your sect master give?
Kujun replied,
Alive, we want to see the person. Dead, we want to see the corpse.
Well, that's impossible. The purple-robed Tianzuan's body had already been used by him to blow up the golden lotus Buddha. There was no way to retrieve it now. Otherwise, he could have turned him into a resurrected being to fool them. Lin Moyu understood their intentions. Next, he could ask some other questions. Although Shueiji Tianzuan had lived a long time, there were some things he couldn't say due to the rules. Kujun, however, was different. He was now in a state where he would answer any question.
Explain what the world competition means. Why do you have to compete in the world competition? What is the name of your place, and what is its structure?
Lin Moyu asked many questions at once, regardless of their usefulness. He aimed for comprehensiveness, believing that with enough comprehensive answers, he could analyze and derive accurate conclusions. Kujun's first answer surprised Lin Moyu. He knew about the existence of the world competition but didn't know its true meaning. However, he knew that many Tianzins participated in the world competition, and there must be unknown benefits involved. Moreover, those who participated in the world competition were either well-connected or exceptionally powerful. There were many things involved, and even Kujun only knew a little. Aside from the world competition, Kujun was quite knowledgeable about other matters. The area they lived in was called the Southern Continent, which had the largest human population. Kujun couldn't say how large the Southern Continent was or how many humans there were. In short, the Southern Continent was very large, and the human population was vast. Besides the Southern Continent, there were the Northern Continent, Eastern Continent, and Western Continent. The 4 continents together were called the Origin Continent. The Northern Continent had the Demon Race and Dragon Race, the Western Continent had the Buddhist Race and Insect Race, and the Eastern Continent had various races, making it the most chaotic. The Sea of Realms lay at the junction of the 4 continents, vast and boundless, even larger than the 4 continents combined. Kujun also mentioned a place at the center of the 4 continents, a mysterious land. However, Kujun had never been there, only heard about it, so he wasn't clear on the details. Lin Moyu asked many more questions, but Kujun, despite being a mid-level Tianzuan, had limited knowledge of the Southern Continent. Most of his time was spent in seclusion within the sect, cultivating. However, he was aware that the human race and demon race didn't get along well and often had conflicts. The human race and Buddhist race, as well as the demon race and Buddhist race, also had strained relationships. In short, Lin Moyu got the impression that this place was chaotic. Although there weren't as many races as in the Great World, it didn't seem much better. The Southern Continent also had ordinary people who made up the majority, not all cultivators as Lin Moyu had imagined. However, the people here cultivated more advanced powers. They directly used the power of origin for cultivation and also had to comprehend laws, but they did so from the power of origin. Shueji Tianzuan finally returned, and Lin Moyu put Kujun away and returned to the Sea of Realms.
Senior, you were quick.
Lin Moyu flattered. Shueji Tianzuan chuckled.
Of course, such a big matter can't be handled by this old turtle alone. The Lord said he would take care of it, so we don't have to worry. Since we fought side by side, this old turtle came to talk to you about cultivation. You people from the Sea of Realms world must have doubts about the cultivation methods here and often go astray. But some paths, once taken wrongly, are hard to correct, so it's best to correct them before making mistakes. I don't know how you cultivated in the Sea of Realms world, as each world's methods differ, but here, there's only one way. In the human race, regardless of the sect, everyone uses the same method, which is to cultivate with the power of origin. From the beginning of cultivation, you use the power of origin, so the techniques, physical strength, and laws you comprehend will all possess the power of origin. You've been hunting fish schools, right? These origin crystals can be used for cultivation, and the effect is better when combined with fish meat.
Lin Moyu asked.
The fish meat helps with cultivation, right?
Shueji Tianzuan replied.
There are countless types of fish and insects in the Sea of Realms. Even the king doesn't know how many kinds there are. Some fish meat can increase cultivation speed, some can enhance comprehension, and others can increase affinity with the Sea of Realms. In short, fish meat has many uses and many types. You can try them yourself or eat a bit of each, alternating. But before using origin crystals, you should refine them well to remove impurities. This will make the cultivation effect better. As your cultivation progresses, you can use higher-level origin crystals. However, origin crystals above the third tier are hard to find and depend on luck.
2393. Chapter 2393. If you can't play, don't play. Because of a battle, the relationship between Lin Moyu and Shueji Tianzuan underwent a subtle change. Shueji Tianzuan seemed to regard Lin Moyu as a comrade in arms and shared with him matters related to cultivation. The cultivation methods in the Sea of Realms and the Origin continent differ somewhat from those in the Great World. Although both involve comprehending the laws of heaven and earth in the Great World, one relies on oneself to comprehend, while in the Origin continent people directly comprehend through the origin. Origin items, origin crystals, origin power. Anything containing origin can be used for comprehension. According to Shueji Tianzuan, people in the Origin continent use special means at the beginning of their cultivation to determine which laws they are suited to cultivate. Then, they choose the corresponding origin crystals for cultivation. Depending on one's cultivation aptitude, the same amount of origin crystals can yield different results. For those with good aptitude, one piece of first-tier origin is enough to cultivate to the transcendent realm. For those with poor aptitude, it might take 2 or even 3 pieces. Shueji Tianzuan explained the cultivation process in great detail. Lin Moyu finally understood a principle. He no longer needed to deliberately comprehend the laws of the Sea of Realms. The laws of the Sea of Realms are the same as those of the Origin continent, and everything in the Origin continent is related to origin crystals. Origin crystals are the product of the laws of the Origin continent. As long as he integrates origin crystals into his techniques can function in the Origin continent. Moreover, the better the integrated origin crystals, the stronger the techniques. Shueji Tianzuan, while drinking, said,
I suggest you first adapt to the laws here. There's no rush to improve your realm. There are many origin crystals in the Sea of Realms. Although their grade is a bit low, they can still be used. Let your techniques absorb the power of origin so that they can function outside the Sea of Realms. I'll see if I can get you some origin crystals too.
Lin Moyu asked.
According to my predecessors, there are many treasures in the Sea of Realms.
Shueji Tianzuan replied.
Indeed, there are many. Collapsed Sea of Realms worlds and deceased cultivators in the Sea of Realms leave behind some things, but they are hard to find.
Lin Moyu was puzzled.
Shouldn't they sink to the bottom of the sea?
Shueji Tianzuan suddenly asked.
Does the Sea of Realms have a bottom?
Huh? This question stumped Lin Moyu. Instinctively, he asked,
Doesn't it have a bottom?
Shueiji Tianzuan said,
Maybe it does. I've seen it a few times, but it's not the real bottom.
Lin Moyu was speechless. What does it mean to have seen it a few times but not the real bottom? Since Shueiji Tianzuan said so, there must be a reason. Thinking back to his own attempts to find the seabed, it seemed laughable. Lin Moyu asked,
Haven't you tried to find it?
Shueiji Tianzuan shook his head.
Can't go. The Sea of Realms beyond 500,000 meters is very dangerous. Old Turtle hasn't lived enough yet.
Lin Moyu knew that, in most cases, the danger level of the Sea of Realms could be distinguished by depth. Depth is like a territory range. Within 10,000 meters of the sea surface is the activity range of other shore and Saint Supreme fish schools. Between 10,000 meters and 500,000 meters is the activity range of Supreme fish schools. Beyond 500,000 meters, Tianzuan-level fish schools appear. However, this distance is currently beyond Lin Moyu's exploration capability, so he doesn't care. Tianzuan-level fish schools rarely swim up, and under normal circumstances, Lin Moyu wouldn't encounter them. Shueiji Tianzuan claims to be the manager of the sea area, but it actually only manages the area above 500,000 meters. The area below is not under its control, nor does it have the ability to manage it. After all, it is just one, while fish schools come in groups. According to it, hunting Tianzuan-level fish schools might yield fourth-tier origin crystals. However, the danger is too high and not worth it. In a certain place in the southern continent, a purple glow descended from the sky like a waterfall, enveloping a mountain range and making it look resplendent. Within the mountain range, peaks floated in mid-air, also bathed in the purple glow. This was the location of the Luozi sect, a well-known sect in the area, attracting many who wished to join. A giant whale flew in from the distant sky. The southern continent was sunny and open, unlike the Sea of Realms, which was perpetually shrouded in dark clouds. The whale, over 1 million meters long, descended from the sky, seen by many. Curious onlookers wanted to investigate, but before they could get close, they were repelled by the whale's pressure, retreating in fear. Even Tianzins were no exception. The whale's pressure surpassed that of a Tianzuan, reaching the Taoist level. Although they couldn't get close, many followed from afar, wanting to see where the whale was headed. Soon, someone deduced that the whale was heading towards the Luozi sect. The whale's speed was deceptively fast, and in the blink of an eye, it arrived above the Luozi sect. The whale descended, and the 1 million-meter-long behemoth pressed down from the sky. Purple light surged from the Luozi sect, activating countless formations, but they were ineffective. Before the whale, all formations crumbled upon contact. Peaks suspended in midair fell, and the once majestic and splendid Luozi sect was instantly in ruins.
Scoundrel!
Amidst the roars, terrifying auras soared into the sky, and countless Tianzins rushed out from the sect. The whale let out a piercing scream, and screams followed as people fell like rain. The Tianzins who had just rushed up all fell without exception. This scene made the distant onlookers' hearts pound. The power of a Taoist was fully displayed. No matter how strong the Tianzins were or how many there were, they couldn't withstand a Taoist.
Stop!
Amidst the roars, the Luozi sect's sect master, dressed in a purple robe, charged towards the whale. He wielded a purple whip, striking at the whale. Everyone knew that the Luozi sect's sect master had half-step Taoist cultivation and was unrivaled in this area. Could be said that without a Taoist, he was the strongest. Unfortunately, no matter how strong he was still a Tianzuan. The whale nonchalantly flicked its tail, creating countless tail shadows in the air, sending the Luozi sect's sect master flying back at an even faster speed. He crashed into a mountain range, causing the ground to shake and the mountain range to collapse. In an instant, the Luozi sect was reduced to ruins. The Luozi sect's sect master flew out from the ruins, looking extremely disheveled. His luxurious purple robe was tattered. It was a good treasure robe, but it couldn't withstand a casual strike from a Taoist. He no longer had his previous imposing manner, his eyes showing a hint of fear.
Senior Taoist, why such heavy-handedness against my Luozi sect?
The whale's cold gaze swept over.
By the king's order, to teach the Luozi sect a lesson. The king has a message for you.
The king of the sea race, the Luozi sect master, was shocked.
It's that being.
He dared not show any disrespect.
I am all ears.
The whale's deep voice echoed.
In the world competition, life and death are determined by fate. No outsiders are allowed to interfere. This is ironclad law. Since your Luozi sect has chosen to participate in this game, you must abide by the rules. This is your first offense, a minor punishment as a warning. If it happens again, your sect will be annihilated.
The whale's words were heavy and oppressive, each word like a heavy punch on everyone's heart. Even the distant onlooking Tianzins felt extremely uncomfortable. They knew this was the Taoist Tao law, akin to an oath. Only now did they understand that the whale came because the Luozi sect had violated the rules of the world competition. The whale was clearly saying, if you can't play, don't play. If you play, you must follow the rules. After delivering the message, the whale turned and left, quickly disappearing into the horizon. The Luozi sect's sect master looked at the devastated sect. His voice filled with anger.
What happened while I was in seclusion?
2394 Chapter 2394. I'm forever 16. Lin Moyu was chatting with Shueji Tianzuan, who seemed to have gotten drunk again and said a lot. Most of what he talked about was related to cultivation methods, but Lin Moyu noticed that due to racial differences, Shueji Tianzuan's cultivation methods differed from those of the human race. However, Lin Moyu could filter out the irrelevant parts and retain what was useful to him. Shueji Tianzuan also talked about the situation in the Sea of Realms. He had indeed explored the seabed of the Sea of Realms many years ago out of curiosity. The waters below 500,000 meters were the activity range of Tianzuan-level strange fish. Besides strange fish, there were also some unknown creatures. Shueji Tianzuan cautiously dived down to a depth of 800,000 meters but still did not see the bottom. Later, when he reached the waters near 900,000 meters, he seemed to have seen the seabed. It was at that moment that he was attacked. That attack almost killed him there. That experience was unforgettable. Since then, he never dared to venture below 500,000 meters again and stayed obediently within his jurisdiction. So Shueji Tianzuan said he might have seen the seabed, but he might not have. Lin Moyu suddenly looked up into the distance. The thick clouds began to roll violently, and a giant whale flew out from the clouds. A terrifying aura swept over, piercing straight into his soul, making Lin Moyu's hair stand on end. An indescribable chill emerged from the depths of his soul, quickly spreading throughout his body. He had never encountered such a powerful aura before. If the other party wanted to kill him, Lin Moyu felt it would only take a glance.
This is not a Tianzuan, this is a Taoist.
Lin Moyu whispered in his heart. Although he was shocked by the aura, fortunately, his soul did not sound an alarm, and he did not feel any hostility from the other party. The whale flew out from the clouds, skimming the sea surface. Wherever it passed, the Sea of Realms split in two, forming a wide waterway. The originally somewhat drunk Shueji Tianzuan suddenly shivered and sobered up. Turning his head, he saw the whale and muttered,
General Whale is back, so the matter should be resolved.
The whale stopped when it was still 10,000 miles away and did not come too close. A deep voice sounded.
The Luozi sect has been warned.
After saying this, the whale turned its massive body and flew in another direction. Shueji Tianzuan shouted loudly,
Thank you, General Whale.
General Whale responded,
You're welcome.
After General Whale had completely left, Lin Moyu spoke.
That was a Taoist, right?
Shueji Tianzuan nodded.
Yes, anyone who can become a general is a Taoist.
The king of the sea race is a Taoist, and the generals are also Taoists. It seems the sea race has more than one Taoist. Shueiji Tianzuan chuckled.
I wonder how the Luozi sect is doing. They probably won't have a good time. It's a pity that it was General Whale who took action this time. If it were the other two, the Luozi sect would probably be gone.
Shueiji Tianzuan spoke with some regret, but Lin Moyu could hear that he was gloating, hoping the Luozi sect would be finished. Lin Moyu asked,
Will the Luozi sect come looking for trouble again?
He knew that the dead purple-robed Tianzuan was the only son of the Luozi sect's sect master. The reason they were in such a hurry was because the sect master's only son had died. Shueiji Tianzuan said firmly,
They wouldn't dare. Even if the sect master's only son died, they wouldn't dare come again. This time, having General Whale warn them is the king's clear stance. Anyone who dares to come will be courting death.
Lin Moyu asked,
What if the Taoist from the seven-colored sect comes?
Shueiji Tianzuan chuckled.
That would be interesting. If he dares to come, with the king's temper, it would probably be General Shark who takes action, ensuring he never returns. Besides, what I said won't happen. The Taoists from the seven-colored sect won't easily take action. At most, they would send a Taoist elder. The southern continent is not peaceful. The human race has fierce internal conflicts. If the seven-colored sect loses their Taoist, they would be wiped out by other forces in no time.
From Shueiji Tianzuan's explanation, Lin Moyu understood that the human race in the southern continent was not as united as in the Great World. In the Great World, the human race huddled together for warmth and faced external threats together. In the southern continent, the human race formed various factions with different ideologies, often fighting to the death over certain matters. Each faction eyed the others warily, and no one dared to act recklessly. Moreover, the rules of the world competition were clear. Participation was allowed, but consequences were at one's own risk. Even if someone died, their elders couldn't come seeking justice. There was no justice to be found here. Shueiji Tianzuan rambled on for a while before leaving contentedly with the wine. According to him, the matter with the Luozi sect was over. However, Lin Moyu didn't think it would end just like that. From Kujun, he knew that the dead purple-robed Tianzuan was the only son of the Luozi sect's sect master. Pampered since childhood, his death would not be easily accepted by the other party. Although they couldn't directly come seeking revenge, they might find other ways. In this vast world, there were countless mystical techniques. Who knows what strange methods they might use? Lin Moyu felt it was better to stay vigilant. After Shueiji Tianzuan left, Lin Moyu also didn't stay in the Sea of Realms and returned to the Great World. He didn't tell the Supremes about the Luozi sect. There was no need. After all, the Supremes in the Great World currently had no ability to go to the Sea of Realms. They should just stay peacefully in the Great World as Supremes. Lin Moyu shared some information with the human emperor, asking him to establish a database for analysis. Back at the estate in the Divine City, Yuju was playing with Xiaowu. Seeing Lin Moyu, Xiaowu rushed over and clung to him. Lin Moyu laughed.
It's been 10,000 years. Why haven't you grown up?
Xiaowu snorted.
Why should I grow up? I'm forever 16.
Perhaps because she was once a spirit, no matter how much time passed or how many years she lived, Xiaowu remained the same. At this moment, Xiaowu had reached the half-step Supreme realm and seemed close to becoming a Supreme. Maybe in a while, Xiaowu would become the Mist Supreme. Yuju watched them with a smile.
Is everything resolved?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Yes, it's resolved. Did Qingru return to the Starry Sky Fish clan?
Yuju nodded.
Sister Qingru missed home, so she went back with Senior Luoshan. After being away for 10,000 years, it's time to go back and take a look.
Listening to Lin Moyu, Yuju covered her mouth and chuckled.
Actually, for Sister Qingru, it's only been a little over a year.
They had spent over 400 days in the Sea of Realms, equivalent to a little over a year. For the Starry Sky Fish clan, it was a time of great change with the rise and fall of clans. Going back to take a look was good. With Luoshan there would be no danger. Xiaowu clung to Lin Moyu for a long time, refusing to let go. According to her,
It's been 10,000 years since I last clung to you, So this time I need to cling enough.
Lin Moyu let her be and took out a treasure robe. The treasure robe was what Kajun had worn. It was this robe that had blocked the attack from the great Tao of Fate. The robe was called the Brocade Jade Robe, a top-tier treasure among Tianzuan-level items, which Kajun had obtained during an adventure. The Brocade Jade Robe had strong defensive capabilities, able to block various attacks, but it still couldn't save Kajun's life. Now the Brocade Jade Robe was damaged, just right for summoning the Elemental Lich. 2395, 2395. Chapter 2395. The Best Intelligence Agent, the Elemental Lich in Brocade. The flames of the Elemental Lich blossomed with beautiful and dazzling light. The Brocade Jade Robe was ignited and began to gradually melt in the flames, making the light even more dreamlike.
So beautiful!
Xiaowu exclaimed. She had seen all kinds of lights, but the light she saw now was different. Various dazzling colors competed, emitting a unique aura of the Tianzuan realm. It was precisely the aura of the Tianzuan realm that made the colorful glow extraordinary. After the damaged Brocade Jade Robe melted, it turned into a mass of crystal-clear liquid. The liquid kept changing shape and finally turned into an elemental lich. Different from the divine power lich and the Buddhist lich, the elemental lich summoned with the Brocade Jade Robe was small in size, exuding a moist jade-like luster, looking like a doll. The most crucial point was that the elemental lich was still wearing a brocade robe, which was very exquisite, with flowing light and colors, clearly indicating that this robe was extraordinary. Xiaowu's eyes widened.
So cute!
Lin Moyu's eyes were complex as he sensed the aura of the Tianzuan realm from the lich. Using the brocade jade robe, he had unexpectedly summoned a Tianzuan-level lich, which was truly surprising. This also indicated that the brocade jade robe was extraordinary, even stronger than the golden lotus of the ancient Buddha. Brocade Jade Lich. Realm. Low-level Tianzuan. Grade. Perfect. Growth limit. None. Spells. Brocade Night Walk. Tao Protection. Brocade Night Walk allows the lich to enter an invisible and intangible state, ignoring most obstacles, evading most detection methods, and penetrating most formations. Tao Protection activates the power of the Tao to protect itself and its master, capable of resisting all attacks below the Taoist level. Tao Protection does not require summoning and can automatically activate when the lich or its master is in danger. The attacks it can withstand will accumulate, and once the limit is reached, Tao Protection will lose its effect. Recovery time. 24 hours. Lin Moyu pondered that the Brocade Jade Lich did not possess any offensive power and belonged to a category of liches with special abilities. If used for intelligence gathering, the effect would likely be astonishing. Lin Moyu knew that the spells would not exaggerate. If it said it could evade most detection methods and penetrate most formations, then it certainly could. According to Lin Moyu's estimation, methods below the Taoist level would be ineffective against the Brocade Jade Lich. Tao Protection could automatically protect, and it used the power of the Tao. Lin Moyu had seen the power of the Tao many times and knew how strong it was. This ability likely inherited the original function of the Brocade Jade Robe. Kujun could block the attack from the Great Tao of Fate because of this. Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the Brocade Jade Lich, extremely satisfied. He had offensive liches and auxiliary liches, and now he had a defensive lich completing his collection. The Brocade Jade Lich flew over in a daze, instinctively wanting to get close to its master, but suddenly a hand flashed like lightning and grabbed it. Xiaowu excitedly exclaimed,
Such a cute little thing! Hey, what's going on? Why did you disappear?
The Brocade Jade Lich instinctively activated Brocade Night Walk, its body quickly disappearing and passing through Xiaowu's hand. Xiaowu looked around frantically, trying to find the cute Brocade Jade Lich but couldn't. Even a Tianzuan probably wouldn't be able to detect the Brocade Jade Lich here. Only Lin Moyu, as its master, could clearly see where the Brocade Jade Lich was. Moreover, he could share the Brocade Jade Lich's vision and hearing. Whatever the Brocade Jade Lich saw and heard, Lin Moyu could simultaneously sense. Lin Moyu waved a containment rune array and ordered the Brocade Jade Lich to enter. The Brocade Jade Lich obediently entered the containment rune array. Lin Moyu then closed the containment rune array, trapping it inside. He then drew another rune to reinforce the containment rune array. Lin Moyu knew that even a Supreme would find it difficult to break through his seal, and even a Tianzuan would need a few seconds. He then ordered the Brocade Jade Lich to come out. The order was given, and in less than a second, the Brocade Jade Lich appeared in front of Lin Moyu. The containment rune array remained intact, and the reinforcement runes he added showed no reaction. The Brocade Jade Lich had ignored them.
Not bad.
Lin Moyu thought to himself. Seeing the Brocade Jade Lich reappear, Xiaowu reached out to grab it again. Unfortunately, she missed again as the Brocade Jade Lich vanished into thin air. Xiaowu complained,
Master, what is this? Let it play with me, please.
Lin Moyu smiled.
This is not a toy. You can't play with it. If you want to play, go find Xionio or someone else. You have many friends now, and I heard you have a lot of fun with them.
Xiaowu reluctantly agreed.
All right.
Over the millennia, Xiaowu had made many friends, all of whom were star beasts, many of whom were Xiaonio's friends. Then friends brought friends, and Xiaowu's circle of friends grew. Lin Moyu was not worried about Xiaowu's safety. After all, she was a half-step Supreme, and might become a Supreme one day. She was very safe in the great world. Yuzhu asked,
Was that little guy just now an elemental lich?
Lin Moyu replied,
Yes, the Brocade Jade Lich.
Yuzhu laughed.
It indeed wore a very beautiful robe. Brocade Jade Lich is a fitting name.
Lin Moyu wanted to test the Brocade Jade Lich's other abilities. With a thought, he gave it an order. The Brocade Jade Lich activated Brocade Night Walk and silently disappeared.
So fast.
Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. After activating Brocade Night Walk, the Brocade Jade Lich directly entered deep space and kept accelerating. Although it was not as fast as the space gate, it was much faster than Lin Moyu had been. Space was also an obstacle, but it couldn't stop Brocade Night Walk. The Brocade Jade Lich's speed far exceeded the speed of light, almost reaching 1,000 times the speed of light, and in an instant, it flew tens of thousands of light years away. It quickly entered the territory of the Starry Sky Fish Clan and continued forward. The various formations set up by the Starry Sky Fish Clan were useless against the Brocade Jade Lich. The Brocade Jade Lich silently arrived at the core area of the Fish Clan and found Yuchingru, who was in the Starry Sky Fish Clan. At this moment, the Starry Sky Fish Clan was holding a celebration, and the whole clan was celebrating something. Lin Moyu didn't understand the various celebrations of the Starry Sky Fish Clan and didn't care. He just wanted to see Yuchingru and verify the abilities of the Brocade Jade Lich. Yuchingru and Luoshin were sitting together in the main seat, smiling and looking very happy. Lin Moyu did not disturb her and controlled the Brocade Jade Lich to leave the Starry Sky Fish Clan and head to the secret realm in the Divine City Star domain. The secret realm also couldn't stop the Brocade Jade Lich, could enter and exit at will. After a series of tests, Lin Moyu had a thorough understanding of the Brocade Jade Lich. If used well, the Brocade Jade Lich's role would be astonishing. Lin Moyu rested in the manor for a few days, waiting for Yuchingru to return before heading to the Sea of Realms together. At the same time, he prepared some fine wine, infused with the essence of origin, to give to the wine-loving Tianzuan next time. In the southern continent of the Origin continent, an angry roar echoed from the Luozi sect. The sect master's voice was gloomy.
Who allowed him to participate in the world competition? Find out who let him participate in the world competition. Bastard, dare to kill my son, I will exterminate your entire clan.
Killing intent soared, shattering the white clouds, and fell like 1,000 heavy punches, shaking the earth continuously. At this moment, all cultivators near the Luozi sect felt the killing intent. 2396 2396. Chapter 2396. The True Purpose of the World Competition. Dark clouds have shrouded the Sea of Realms for countless years. No one knows how long these clouds have existed over the Sea of Realms. It seems that since the beginning of the world, the Sea of Realms has been covered by dark clouds. The creatures in the Sea of Realms have long been accustomed to it. If one day the clouds were to clear, they might actually feel uncomfortable. Lin Moyu once again arrived at the Sea of Realms, still placing Yuqingru and Yuju in the Great World and releasing 50 Skeleton Kings to protect them. The two could cultivate in peace and comprehend the laws. Lin Moyu then plunged into the Sea of Realms to continue hunting strange fish. The Great World had already been repaired. The origin he would collect next would be for his own use. There were still many techniques that needed to be integrated with the power of origin. Lin Moyu already had a detailed cultivation plan in his mind. He wanted to integrate all his techniques with the power of origin, elevating them to origin-level techniques. And not just ordinary origin, but at least 7th-tier origin. He had calculated that to fuse a 7th-tier origin, he would need 729 first-tier origins, or 243 second-tier origins, or 81 third-tier origins. It didn't seem like much. Lin Moyu felt that if he worked hard, he could fuse one every 500 days. Of course, this was on the premise that the little guy of infinite fusion would cooperate and not cause any trouble. The reason for choosing 7th-tier origin was that, after detailed calculations, he found it to be the best result. 6th-tier origin was equivalent to the origin of the Great World. If he only used 6th-tier origin, he could just become a Tianzuan and ask the Great World for it. He believed the Great World would definitely give it. If he became a Tianzuan, he might even become the master of the Great World and directly manipulate the Great World's origin. But he was not satisfied with 6th-tier origin. He also wanted to elevate the Great World and reach the Taoist realm together with it. To elevate the Great World, ordinary 6th-tier origin was not enough. At least 7th-tier origin was needed, and not just one. Lin Moyu felt that after the Great World was elevated, he should also match the Great World. This was one reason. Another reason was that although origin could be repeatedly absorbed to continuously enhance the technique's power, if he used 5th-tier origin this time and wanted to enhance it with 6th-tier origin next time, he would have to start the fusion process all over again. It was too troublesome and better to do it in one go. After all the calculations, 7th-tier origin was the most suitable. If he wanted to elevate to 8th tier, the workload would be immense, and who knows how long it would take. Lin Moyu leaped into the Sea of Realms and began his hunting endeavor. Schools of fish were hunted, with the Skeleton Army, the Resurrected Army, the Skeleton Kings, the Buddhist Lich, and the Divine Power Lich working together, efficiently and effectively. Lin Moyu became a hands-off manager, not needing to do anything himself. He only needed to command the overall situation to reap the rewards. Skeleton generals continuously returned, bringing back the materials they obtained. Lin Moyu's stockpile was increasing at an astonishing rate. Several days later, Lin Moyu sensed the water waves ahead churning, and a Tianzuan aura surged, mixed with a strong smell of alcohol. In the blink of an eye, the massive figure of Shueji Tianzuan appeared before Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu smiled.
Senior Shueji, what brings you here?
Shueji Tianzuan chuckled.
Guess.
Seeing its appearance, Lin Moyu waved his hand, and 2 jars of 10,000-year-old fine wine were thrown over. Was there even a need to guess? It was obvious that the wine was finished, and it came to ask for more. Shueji Tianzuan was not polite at all, directly taking the 2 jars of wine and giving Lin Moyu an approving look.
Kid, you're on the right track.
Lin Moyu smiled.
Last time, Senior Shueji helped so much. I haven't even had the chance to thank you.
Shueji Tianzuan chuckled.
Your world has been completely restored, right? Now you're collecting origin crystals to elevate the world?
Lin Moyu nodded.
That's one reason. I also want to use the origin crystals for cultivation to quickly adapt to the origin continent.
Shueji Tianzuan hummed.
That's the right approach. Preparing well before truly entering the origin continent will save you from being bullied. But with your abilities, I doubt anyone can bully you.
Previously, Lin Moyu decisively killed 2 Tianzans from the Luozi sect. Shueji Tianzuan was well aware of Lin Moyu's combat power. A Tianzuan is an elder-level figure in any sect, not someone who can be easily bullied. Lin Moyu smiled.
It's still early to go to the origin continent, and I can't leave the great world for now.
Shueji Tianzuan tilted its head.
I almost forgot about that. You're deeply tied to the Sea of Realms world now, and leaving won't be easy.
Lin Moyu nodded slightly, which was indeed the case. Shueji Tianzuan's large eyes kept turning, seemingly trying to think of a solution for Lin Moyu, but after a long time, it couldn't come up with a good idea. Frustrated, it shook its big head.
It seems you can only leave after the world competition ends.
Lin Moyu had long wanted to ask this question but never had the chance. Every time he chatted with Shueji Tianzuan, the topics were led by Shueji Tianzuan. Lin Moyu mainly listened and occasionally asked questions to keep the conversation going and gain more information. Now, Lin Moyu took the opportunity to ask,
How can the world competition end?
Shueji Tianzuan said,
There are several ways to end the world competition, but first, you need to understand what the world competition is and why it is conducted. Ultimately, the true purpose of the world competition is for origin. You know, high-tier origin is hard to obtain, especially world-class origin, which is even rarer.
Shueji Tianzuan began to speak at length, and Lin Moyu listened attentively. From Shueji Tianzuan's words, Lin Moyu finally understood what the world competition was, why it was conducted, and its true purpose. High-tier origin is extremely difficult to obtain, especially origin above the 6th tier, which is incredibly rare. If a place produces 7th-tier origin, it will definitely trigger a great battle, with even Taoists possibly joining the fray. Because high-tier origin is so rare, the world competition was created. Various Sea of Realms worlds fight each other, devouring each other. This allows the world to grow until it reaches a sufficient height, and then the origin can be harvested. Lin Moyu couldn't help but ask,
What happens to the world whose origin is harvested?
Shueji Tianzuan chuckled.
That depends on the mood of its master. If the master is kind, they will transfer the creatures from the Sea of Realms world to their own rule world or place them in the origin continent, giving them a new place to live. If the master is ruthless, they won't care. When the world shatters, the creatures inside will fall out of the world. The strong and lucky ones might survive, but the weak ones are doomed. Most cultivators will directly initiate world destruction, causing the entire world to collapse, and no one will survive. Some are even worse. They will refine all the creatures in the world into a treasure or a great medicine to enhance themselves.
Lin Moyu was shocked.
So, there won't be any Taoists in the Sea of Realms world.
Shueji Tianzuan shook its head.
Generally not. In most cases, the world competition ends before a Taoist appears in the Sea of Realms world. But there are exceptions. Sometimes the master initiating the world competition leaves for some reason, and when they return, a Taoist has already appeared in the Sea of Realms world. As a result, the master is killed by the Taoist, and the world changes hands. This has happened before. So, the world competition is very dangerous. Not just because of the fighting but also because of the risk of being killed in return.
Lin Moyu said,
It seems my world doesn't have a master.
2397 2397. Chapter 2397. Another world is about to collide? Lin Moyu's doubts were confirmed by Shueji Tianzuan. Indeed, the great world no longer had a master. Shueji Tianzuan said,
Your world drifted into my sea area about 100 years ago. At that time, I knew that the master behind this world was already dead, and this world was riddled with holes, with all its strong beings dead and all Tianzins gone. Otherwise, do you think that guy from the Luozi sect would have dared to start a world competition with you? Just look at the difference in scale between the two worlds.
Shueji Tianzuan was right. If the Great World were intact and had several Tianzins, the world competition wouldn't have mattered. Lin Moyu asked,
So, the encounter between two worlds isn't natural but man-made?
Shueji Tianzuan, perhaps parched from talking, opened a jar of wine and took a big gulp before continuing.
Both, actually. There are natural encounters and deliberate collisions. But your previous encounter was deliberate. It was just their bad luck. They thought they could easily take you down and rise to the top, but they ended up losing their lives. That's the fascinating part of the world competition. It's truly interesting.
Lin Moyu had another question.
If two worlds collide and both have masters, what happens to the loser?
Shueiji Tianzuan replied nonchalantly,
The loser just loses, maybe gets hurt, and withdraws from the world competition. What else can happen? As long as you don't personally intervene, the other party generally won't attack you. But some people can't stand losing and break the rules by intervening personally, often resulting in their own deaths.
Lin Moyu looked at his great world and murmured,
How did you die? If you were still alive, how would you handle the beings in the great world?
He was certain that the former master of the great world didn't die because of the world competition. Otherwise, the great world would have been devoured by another world long ago, and there wouldn't be any subsequent events. Lin Moyu now finally understood that the true purpose of the world competition was to obtain origin. Generally, Tianzins initiate the world competition, trying every means to make their world grow to the 7th tier. The origin of a 7th tier world can support a Taoist, but these masters will extract the origin before a Taoist is born. Without origin, the world will inevitably collapse. Whether the beings in the world live or die depends on the master's mood. But Lin Moyu didn't need to do that. He could fuse origin, and obtaining 7th tier origin wasn't difficult for him. He even thought about integrating all his techniques with 7th tier origin. Unfortunately, ordinary origin couldn't make him a Taoist. To become a Taoist, he still needed world-class 7th tier origin. But it didn't matter. Lin Moyu believed that there was always a way. When the boat reaches the bridge, it will straighten itself out. There would always be a solution. Becoming a Taoist was still too distant to worry about. What he needed to do now was to become the new master of the great world. With no current master, he had a chance to become the new master. Once he became the new master of the great world, everything in the great world would be under his control. Reversing fate wouldn't be difficult. Even if the Tianzun realm couldn't reverse fate for his wives, becoming the new master of the great world would allow him to do so. The path ahead became clear. Lin Moyu sincerely said,
Thank you, Senior.
Shueiji Tianzuan chuckled.
No need to be so polite. We've fought side by side many times. One more thing, in about 3 years, or to be precise, 890 days, another world will collide with yours. This world is stronger than the Luozi Sect's world, so be prepared.
Lin Moyu was slightly surprised.
Another world is coming? Is it natural or deliberate?
Shueiji Tianzuan replied,
Of course, it's deliberate. You don't know, but a world without a master is a treasure. Moreover, the other party knows the previous state of your world and knows there are no Tianzins in it. I can't interfere in the world competition, but I can give you some information to prepare.
Saying this, Shueiji Tianzuan threw out a shell, signaling Lin Moyu with his eyes. All the information he knew was in the shell. Due to the rules, he couldn't say certain things directly and had to use this method to inform Lin Moyu. Shueiji Tianzuan said,
If you really can't win, sever your connection with the world. I can ensure your safety.
Lin Moyu naturally wouldn't sever his connection with the great world. If he were to do that, he would have done it long ago, not waited until now. But he still thanked Shueiji Tianzuan for his kindness. Lin Moyu didn't immediately check the information in the shell. There was no rush, he still had more than 2 years. He looked at Shueiji Tianzuan with warm eyes, thinking about how he always received help from others. In the small world, there was Bai Yiyuan, Meng Anwen, and Antares. In the great world, there was Zhu Qiwu, Hao Supreme, and Tianlong. Now, in the Sea of Realms, he met Shueiji Tianzuan. This seemingly cautious but kind-hearted old turtle had given him much help.
Hey, don't look at me like that. I'm a male.
Shueiji Tianzuan shivered and shouted loudly. Lin Moyu, with his thick skin, wasn't embarrassed at all.
I was just thinking about how many kind people have genuinely helped me along my cultivation journey.
Shueiji Tianzuan snorted.
Old Turtle isn't that kind. If it weren't for your good wine, I wouldn't bother with you.
Lin Moyu knew it was a case of a sharp tongue but a soft heart and didn't expose him.
Regardless of the reason, thank you. And 890 days, right? I'll do my best to prepare.
Shueiji Tianzuan nodded.
Take a good look and prepare well. Don't blame me. Old Turtle really can't intervene.
From the situation with the Luozi sect, Lin Moyu already saw that the rules of the sea race were very strict. As a member of the sea race, Shueiji Tianzuan really couldn't interfere in the world competition. Otherwise, severe punishment awaited him. This meant that if the other party's Tianzuan intervened in the world competition, Shueiji Tianzuan also couldn't take action. At most, he could report the matter to the king afterward for the king to handle. As for how it would be handled, the result with the Luozi sect suggested that most cases would just receive a warning. After all, the great world had no backing, and those participating in the world competition had some background. Shueiji Tianzuan left happily with 2 jars of wine, and Lin Moyu finally checked the information in the shell. The shell given by Shueiji Tianzuan was identical to the Sea of Realms shell. To be precise, it was a Sea of Realms shell. The Sea of Realms shell not only had the ability to traverse world barriers but also to store information. However, its information storage capacity was not as good as pearl-like items. Lin Moyu understood Shueiji Tianzuan's intention. By giving him a Sea of Realms shell instead of a pearl, Shueiji Tianzuan left his mark on it. If Lin Moyu were to lose the battle, he could activate the shell and summon Shueiji Tianzuan's mark. The other party might spare him out of respect for Shueiji Tianzuan. Although it wasn't explicitly stated, it was essentially a life-saving charm.
Thank you.
Lin Moyu said thank you again before starting to check the contents. His brows gradually furrowed, and his expression became increasingly serious. 2398, 2398.